R.I.P. Mac Miller. Can we all just say that before we do anything else here? R.I.P. to the great, the legendary Malcolm McCormick Miller. I don't know how you say it, but either way, dude's music is phenomenal, okay? And I'm still fucked up about that, and I know it's annoying. Like, people are sick of fucking hearing it from me. You know, that's just how it is. But we're not here today to talk about that. We're here today to act a fool and to talk fantasy fucking football, okay? Because we are at the mid-season point of the NFL. It has been a roller coaster of a journey so far, not only for just fantasy owners, but the NFL in general. And I fucking love the NFL. I don't give a fuck if it's COVID. I don't care if there's not fans. I don't give a fuck. I'm watching the NFL. It is my favorite thing in the world besides my girlfriend, golf, and my stupid fucking friends. That's it. Those are the four things that I love, okay? And I want PlayStation as well, and my family. I mean, the obvious shit. But regardless, I love the NFL, and it's been fucking great. Fantasy this year, for a lot of people, hasn't been that great. If you had the first pick, you're probably fucked. Realistically, you probably took CMC. He's shafted so many people. It's not his fault. He had a phenomenal first 2 weeks. If the guy would have stayed healthy, I mean, if you had the first pick, you'd probably be fucking set. You'd probably be in a playoff spot because the dude puts up 30 a week if he's healthy. So, we're here to talk today just about how the seasons went, some sleepers for this week, and who to really look to plug in your lineup for the rest of the season, and particularly this week in general, because the midway point is a big deal. A lot of teams are in position for a must-win week this week. I am in that in two of my bigger leagues. Like, I need dubs. If I don't get dubs, probably not going to make the playoffs. I'm 3-4 in my one league, the league that I had the first pick. Somehow, I am 3-4. I don't know how. Like, I've scrapped my way through the waiver wire the entire time. I've relied on defenses to blow up, a couple times to get me dubs. And I've gotten lucky as fuck with the scheduling because, let's be real, I'm playing some teams that aren't scoring a lot of points. And can I get an amen? Yeah, we can get an amen. All right, so we're going to start with top 10 quarterbacks for week 8. And this list, if you would have showed me this list at the beginning of the year, I would have been like, what the fuck is going on? Because this is weird, dude. We got a rookie in this top 10. We got a dude that honestly barely had a starting job up until last year, gets a fat contract, and now he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And a lot of that has to do with stupid fucking Adam Gase, who should not have gotten a job. He better lose his job before Patricia does, if Patricia does. But that's a whole different discussion. So we're going to start with the top 10 quarterbacks of week 8, or for week 8. At number 10, coming in from Las Vegas, Derek Carr. The guy has had a phenomenal season so far. And even if, his numbers aren't insane, but the dude's got 13 TDs, 2 picks. He's been consistent. Yeah, they haven't had the toughest schedule, but, you still have to put up the numbers. He's been consistent. Even last week against Tampa, decent game. Tampa's a really good team. They got blown out, but fantasy-wise, he had a decent game. You could have plugged him in and got a decent performance out of him. So Derek Carr is at that 10 spot because they're playing Cleveland this week. Cleveland is ranked 29th in the NFL in pass defense, which is obviously not good. 32 teams, ranked 29th. You're probably pretty bad. So I'm looking Derek Carr this week for at least 250 and 3 TDs, maybe a pick against Cleveland, looking to get you more than 30 points. And, that's, once again, Josh Jacobs is a fucking workhorse, so that really could be cut in half if Josh Jacobs has a really nice game. But I'm still thinking it's going to be a shootout because Cleveland's defense is just has not been it this week. And unfortunately, in one of my leagues, I'm going to be forced to play him because there's not anything better on the waivers, and I'm not wasting a waiver pick for it. So, or for like a team like Denver. But once again, whole different discussion. So Derek Carr, number 10 against Cleveland, looking to get you about 30. At number 9, a guy that is a rookie and that no one expected to be good, including myself. And we're not talking about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's been phenomenal, and we'll get into that later. But Justin Herbert coming out of that number 9 spot. Once again, a decent matchup against Denver. The only thing that scares me is the fact that Denver is kind of it's up in the air with the weather at all times. Like, you look at a guy like Mahomes last week, he had 14 against Denver because they simply didn't need him to do anything. Really, they needed him to manage the game. It was a blizzard. The weather fucking sucked. That's 2 weeks in a row, by the way, for Mahomes, where he's been in shitty weather games. And it's really starting to piss me the fuck off. Like, I can't even tell you, because I took this motherfucker in the first round. And yes, he's been great. He's averaging about 30 a week in my particular leagues. Decent bonuses for quarterback leagues. You guys in the ESPN leagues are probably like, what the fuck, 30 points? That's really fucking good for a quarterback. Well, yeah, ESPN's fucking stupid and they do 4-point touchdowns. I don't know who the fuck thought that was a good idea. That's fucking stupid. That's why I don't use ESPN. So, Herbert against Denver. Why? With potentially the weather situation in Denver? Because for LA to win games right now without Austin Eckler, Herbert has to have a phenomenal game. And he's riding a hot wave right now. He's riding a hot streak. I'm assuming we're going to get 303 TDs minimum out of Herbert, even if he does throw a couple picks. That's worth coming in at the number 9 spot for this week. And Denver's still a pretty bad football team. So we'll give the rookie the nod for the number 9 spot. Number 8, we're going to go with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, up and down. That's really the best way to describe Matt Ryan, is up and down for the most part. You know, like, he's got upside. There's no doubt. He's got great weapons when they're healthy. But yeah, I mean, the guy's just up and down. But this week against Carolina, or tonight, he's got a lot of upside to go off. One, I think that game's going to be a shootout. A couple pretty poor defenses, I'd say. Carolina's more average on the defensive side of the ball. But Atlanta's pretty fucking bad. So, thinking this is going to be a shootout. Julio's healthy again. Calvin Ridley's a stud. Gurley's a decent back. Probably at least, we're looking at about 350. I bet you Matty Ice could throw for about 350, 2 tutties a night. No problem. Get you about 30 to 40. In between there. Upside at least for it. You can expect 20 to 25, but upside 30 to 40 in most leagues. Coming at number 7, Josh Allen. Now, this guy started the season on fire. Everybody thought this guy was going to be the number 1 fantasy quarterback in a landslide. Like, the guy was putting up 40 plus a week. Running for 50 and 2 TDs, throwing for 303 TDs, like, doing crazy shit. And he's definitely fell off as of late. Last 3 weeks, he's only had about 20 points each week. And especially last week, super disappointing performance against the Jets. He had 19 in my league, I believe, and their offense didn't score a touchdown against the fucking New York Jets. 6 field goals. 6. Now, if you had the kicker, good for you, man. Like, good shit. But guess what? I don't know anybody that had their fucking kicker, because they usually just put it in the fucking end zone. So, god damn it, Josh Allen. Put the ball in the end zone against the New York Jets, and you'd probably be a little bit higher on this list. But guess what? You couldn't. So you're coming in at number 7 against the Patriots, who are pretty awful right now. Honestly, I was proven wrong by this again. Yes, the season's not over, but I really thought Belichick was going to pull out a really good season this year. It's looking like it's going to be the complete opposite, and Brady's going to be walking away with the last laugh here. So Josh Allen at number 7. Number 6, we're going to go with Carson Wentz. This guy has been on fire lately. Yeah, he's got 10 interceptions. He feels like Jameis Winston, honestly, this year. And he has no help. His team, I mean, they haven't done shit for him, man. They haven't done shit. They don't... You just can't possibly tell me that you can't go get a receiver that's worth anything, that can stay healthy. Fulgham looks great. Definitely a good find with that. But, I mean, come on, man. How long are you going to hold on to Alshon Jeffrey before you realize that he can't play more than 8 games in an NFL season? He's done, man. He's done. Get rid of him. Move on. Get this guy some weapons. Get this guy some help. And you might have a legitimate chance of being a really good NFL team, because this guy has talent. Carson Wentz has talent. Yeah, his decision-making is questionable, but the guy can't breathe back there. If you watch him play, he doesn't have time to throw the football. So that's a crucial thing. The next thing is... they're playing Dallas. Dallas is piss poor. So that's why he's coming in at the number 6 spot. And he's probably going to have a pretty damn good week. So, number 5, we're going with Lamar Jackson, regardless of the really tough matchup against Pittsburgh. It's really tough, like I said. Lamar Jackson, he's had an underwhelming season. You guys are probably surprised at me putting him at 5. But I don't really care, because he's due. I mean, honestly, he's due for a big game, and this is kind of a must-win for them. I mean, it's a divisional matchup. It's a tough game. They're at home. I could see him doing a lot of things to pull out this dub. A lot of moves on the ground, probably close to 100 yards, if not more. And when he gets over 100 yards, if you're in a bonus league at 100 yards, let's say 2 points, that's a big difference, man. That's 12 points if he's over 100 just on the ground alone. If he throws for even 200 through the air and a couple TDs, you're looking at a huge week. So, Lamar at 5. Coming in at number 4, we got Ryan Tannehill. We kind of brought him up earlier in this podcast, talking about how Adam Gase fucking blows. Talk about what happens when you get away from a guy like that. And that's why I'm not done with Sam Darnold. I'm not giving up on Sam Darnold yet, because Sam Darnold has a lot of talent. He's been put in a horrific situation with Adam Gase. This guy needs to get fired as soon as possible. So, yeah, Tannehill at 4. He's 16 TDs on the season, 2 picks. Tennessee looks like the front runner of that division. It's a no-brainer here. And he's playing Cincinnati. I mean, that's probably going to be a shootout as well. So, speaking of Cincinnati, Burrow's been phenomenal. He's not on this list this week, but I could see a big performance from him too. So, on to number 3, Russell Wilson. The guy's a walking 30 to 40 points a week. It doesn't matter who they play. It doesn't matter what the circumstances is. And that is simply because he is phenomenal, and that team needs him to perform like that every single week for them to get a win. That is the most quarterback-reliant team in the NFL. If he doesn't perform to his standards, they probably won't win the game. I mean, they look at what they did. They almost lost to fucking Minnesota. And then they blew that game last week. Yeah, he made crucial mistakes, but, like, come on, man. That defense is pathetic. So, Wilson, easy 30 to 40 points here. No doubt against, I believe, San Francisco. Easy 30 to 40. Divisional matchup, must win. Got to get it done. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes against the New York Jets. Why isn't he number 1 against the New York Jets? Well, it's kind of the same thing as last week. Are the Bills the Chiefs? Absolutely not. The Chiefs are probably the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. They have everything you need. Their defense is a little suspect, but, I mean, come on, dude. They got the best quarterback maybe we've ever seen. They got 2 now solid-ass running backs, solid weapons through the air. Their offensive line looks a little bit in shambles this year, but this week it's not going to matter, man. It really isn't going to matter. But I do think that he'll get you 30 by halftime, and then he won't do much after that. So you can expect about 250 and 3 tutties from Mahomes. The only reason why he's not 1 is because I think the game script might get a little out of hand, and it could get bad. So they're not kicking 6 field goals. That's all I got to say. 6 touchdowns, more of a realistic option against the Jets. Probably about a 42 to 49 to 7 type ball game, somewhere in that lines. And then at the number 1 spot for the quarterbacks this week, we're going with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that was unnecessary. I just wanted to throw that in there. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Minnesota is really bad. Kirk Cousins is really bad. And he's been on fire. He's honestly been top 3 quarterback in the NFL. He's got a lot of haters to prove wrong. A lot of people were writing him off at the beginning of the season, and he's shown that he's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL still. And there's no doubt. And, Devontae Adams is, oh my God, is he good. Can we just talk about that for a second? It seems like every time this guy's healthy, he puts up 10-plus catches, 150-plus yards, 2 TDs. Every game he's fucking healthy, man. But that's the thing with him. He kind of reminds me of Julio, just not as athletic. The best route runner I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie. He literally... Chad Johnson was in tears talking about this dude's route running. That's when you know the guy is fucking good, okay? Because Chad Johnson's a legend. Easily a Hall of Famer. So, Aaron Rodgers coming to that number 1 spot, and that's going to wrap it up for the quarterbacks, guys. Once again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to have 3 more videos coming out, or podcasts coming out, about the running back position, the receiver, or I'm going to go all flex. I'm going to go running back, receiver, tight end, all in the same video. We'll give you a breakdown on the top 10 there. We'll discuss some injuries, and once again, I appreciate you guys, hopping on, man. I love doing this shit, so take it easy, guys.